Hey everyone, welcome back to a new video on our channel. I'm very excited to be seeing you again. So today, it's a little shift on what I do normally, but it's a thing I would like to talk to you about because I can see that a lot of people that are following me are like teenagers. And so I thought about writing a video about 7 things to buy as a teenager. So if you're ready, let's get right into it. So these 7 objects aren't really a must-have, but they, I think in my opinion, and for me, they upgraded my lifestyle. So for the first one, we've got a good pair of headphones or earphones. Personally, I've invested in some AirPod Max and in some AirPods. And actually, you can have any type of headset or earphones. What suits you the best? I know there are a lot of great brands out there, not only Apple, but Bose, Marshall, and JBL, for example. And I know for me, I love listening to podcasts like Ali Abdaal's podcast, Mark Tilbury's, or just everyday news, BBC, New York Times. And I know that having a good headset really makes me want to listen more to good quality podcasts. And just in your everyday life, I think a lot of teenagers have a pair of earphones, but they're just so handy to have. So my first tip would be buy a good headset or good earphones. I'll put some examples in the description down below if you want to check them out. Now number 2, I would say an ebook, a Kindle. Personally, I have a Kindle Paperwhite that I bought this year, and it's actually changed my way of reading. Before, I wasn't a great reader, well, a big reader. I mean, I read like 5 books a year, which isn't amazing. That means aside of school books, of course. That doesn't count. But now I can read like a book a month, and it actually seems more fun to do. It's easy, it saves a lot of space. For example, I actually have a lot of physical books, but I love reading always all of these books on Kindle. That means I buy them on Kindle and physically, but I always read them on a Kindle. But you don't need to do both. It will save you space if you just buy one Kindle and then buy books that are even less expensive than other ordinary books. You can buy a subscription, for example, on Amazon Kindle, or you can just buy books one by one. For example, this month I've read The Millionaire Fastlane by MJ DeMarco, which is an amazing book. It's a lot of finance books, even though you can have, of course, all different categories and different themes. Romantic books, or fiction books, or novels. But I've read The Millionaire Fastlane, The Meditations of Marcus Aurelius, which I was inspired by the book The Daily Stoic, which was amazing, and then I wanted to know a little more about Marcus Aurelius, so I read that this month. How to Win Friends and Influence People, which is actually the basic book for social happiness in some way. It's quite interesting. When you read all of these books, you don't have to incorporate everything in your everyday life, but knowing fewer information is always good to have. And then I read Atomic Habits, once again. I read it like a few months ago, but I read it again by James Clear, which is a classic in productivity. And lastly, I read $100 Million Offers by Alex Hormozy, which talks a little bit about marketing products and more about just selling ideas. So that's that. And really, I'm reading a lot more than before because it's just more fun. It's a great way, it's more customizable. For example, when I'm in bed, I don't have a great bedside lamp, so what I do is just I read on Kindle. There's a night mode, so you don't have the blue light at night before sleeping, which isn't good for you. And so there are a lot of features, and I got mine for 80 euros, I think, which is about $95 because it was on sale, but now I think it's like 110 euros, so 120 bucks normally. And then I got a little case, and that's all you need, and then buy a few little books. And I really could recommend this if you want to extend your knowledge and try to learn more things, or just read more in general. That's a great tool to have. Now number 3, I'd say a good phone, but I'd say a good phone for the quality of its image, really. If you have a good phone, I think it's gonna save you a lot of time for everyday tasks. For example, I do a lot of things on my phone. I've got Notion, on which I write all my YouTube videos. I organize nearly everything in my life, actually. From my passwords to my videos, my planning, school, all my applications, nearly actually everything. But secondly, having a good quality image, for example, can make you film a lot of things and have good photographs. For example, if you take a trip somewhere, taking a lot of good photographs with your family, with your friends, or just even alone, I think will create great memories. For example, when I was a kid, my parents had good cameras, but they weren't as good as today's phones. So I can often find myself looking at photographs and telling myself that it would have been great with better quality of image. So really, if you can invest in a good phone with a good quality of image. I know that Google does a lot of good phones, like the Google Pixel 7a, for example, which has a good quality of image, but I'm using the iPhone 11 Pro, which I have since last year, and it works really well. I'm filming this video in 4K, and it's always been great, so I would recommend it as well. I got mine, it was on sale at the time, and it was a second-hand phone, so I got it for like 500 euros, which really is a lot of money, but when you think about it, it's normally a phone that costs like $1,200, but really, if you can, That's a great thing. Or just save up a little bit if you have some pocket money. Now number 4, a physical alarm clock. I'm going to explain to it later on, but I don't have one. But what I do instead is that I take my phone, I put my alarm on it, I put my phone away from my bed, which isn't good before sleep. I put it on the lamp that's behind me, and it actually charges on its wireless charging on my lamp. And when the alarm goes on in the morning, I actually have to get up and go to my alarm to set it off. And that's the inconvenience of having an alarm clock that's your phone but beside your bed. That's why a physical alarm clock could be a good idea as well, because there's no snooze button, well, in a physical alarm clock. There are a few on digital ones, but that's why it's better to have a physical one. And if you want to have more time in your day, because we all have 24 hours and you see a lot of people do so many things in the same day, you can ask yourself, what am I doing wrong? And often you can stay like a few hours in bed doing nothing. It's always better to get up and start a great day. Or you can do like me and put your phone away and have to get up to turn it off, because it gives you a sense of boost in the morning. Even though it's not always fun, it's like taking a cold shower, but you feel great afterwards. Now, number 5, I'd say if you're like less than 18 years old, I say you could have a credit card. Well, this is my wallet, but I'm not going to show you my credit card, even though I like you a lot, but you all understand. But it's actually great to have your credit card, because often, most of the time, people who are teenagers sometimes have pocket money. And if you do, that's kind of a great advantage, because you can try to open your account or ask your parents to do so, and then put that pocket money directly onto your account, so you can have some savings in some sort. But you can also keep track on your phone, for example, and it gives you a sense of financial responsibility. And this way you'll learn, it's gonna be really handy later on, to learn to budget, to learn to control your expenses, and then try to save up to be able to buy bigger things later on, if you want to. Or investing. I might do a video on how I invest in Trading 212. I love investing and I have a credit card, so it's handy to have both. And I think it's great for teenagers to understand the importance of financial planning. And for me, it's a great improvement. Now, number 6, this is more of improving your health in some way on the long term, but having a good pair of shoes, I think, is a must-have. Today, it's easier for a lot of people, not everyone, unfortunately, to have a good pair of shoes. That doesn't mean having $2,000 pair, of course, but having like a $100 pair, or maybe $150. I bought myself a pair of New Balance recently, and I think that it's absolutely great because I walk a lot, like I'd say 8 or 9 kilometers every day. I always do my 10,000 steps, and I think that on the long term it's good for your feet, but it's also good for your back. I think that back posture is really important. And you'll remember, when you're going to be older, being healthy is a privilege. So if you can invest in something like that, do so. It's a great investment. Because I see a few people that are quite older than me that like aren't even 30 and start feeling some back pain and all sorts of things that are due to their posture or the way they walked. I know this is a video talking about things that you can buy, but a little habit you could consider is standing up straight all the time, like this. But if I do that, you can't see me anymore, and that's kind of a disadvantage. But promise I'll work on it a little bit. Kind of a waste man a little bit. Now, 7 and last one, this is, I think you might laugh at this one, but it's kind of a logical one, even though we don't always think about it. But I always in my room have a full water bottle. It's like the ultimate life elixir. And staying hydrated is, of course, I'm not doing the promotion of water, I'm not sponsored by H2O, but you know, try to carry a water bottle everywhere you go. For instance, in my room, I always have a full one, so that reminds me to drink more. Because everything that water promotes is absolutely incredible. Promoting better sleep, but also maintaining gut health, to protecting vital organs as well, and also regulating your body temperature. But it has a lot of different assets that are incredible. Most of the time when we wake up feeling badly with our head that's about to explode, that's actually because we're dehydrated most of the time. And I'm sure if you do a little research about the benefits of water, even though you've maybe heard of them a lot of the time, are absolutely incredible. So that would be a must-have. And I think it's not really expensive. I think everyone has one at home. Or it's maybe $5, or even 10 if you want a good one. But embrace the magic of water and just drink a little more. It can have a really positive impact in your life. Especially if you do a lot of sports. Even if you don't, still a good thing to have. Well, thanks a lot for watching, everyone. I hope you liked this video. This is not the subject I often talk about, but I wanted to give it a try and try to get better about talking about this. I might do other videos like this if you want to. It'd be my pleasure to do so. It was really incredible finding you again. I'm really excited about doing a lot of new videos. I think I've got like 3 weeks left before I'm going back to school, like a lot of teenagers. So I'll try to film a lot of videos for everyone. I love this channel, but you know it. I'll see you very, very soon. Have an amazing day in the meantime. I'm sure you will. See you very, very soon, everyone. Bye-bye.